So guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. So guys, Eddie Reynoso says that Billy Joe Saunders is going to be a very complicated fight. Billy Joe Saunders isn't going to be an easy fight. Eddie Reynoso had that to say. I'm not surprised that they're saying this. You know, Eddie Reynoso is one of the best trainers in the world. The reason why Canelo's at the top, because he's got a very tight-knit team. And he's got people like Eddie, who is very, very smart, very, very good trainer, and he analyzes the opponents. I remember when he was fighting Khan, I was watching a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff, and Eddie Reynoso used to sit down and watch Khan's fights, and he was analyzing Khan's weaknesses and what he's bad at, what he's good at. And I remember him pointing out that, you know, this opponent's not got the greatest chin, so that's an advantage for us. Analyzing Khan's weaknesses, you know, and these guys that are at the top, Crawford's the same. Their team doesn't leave any stone unturned. You know, they're very good at analyzing their opponent, seeing what he's good at, and then taking it away, because they have, you know, Canelo's very versatile. He takes away what, you know, you do good. And Eddie Reynoso has, in my opinion, already analyzed Saunders, and I don't think it would be from now. I think he's been analyzing Saunders for probably a while, because they knew that he was world champion, and he's probably a guy that, you know, we're going to be facing down the line sometime. And I think they know that he's going to be complicated, because they know that Saunders likes to box and move around and make it difficult. So they know what they're gonna have to do. Canelo already knows what he's gonna have to do against Saunders. He knows how he's gonna have to fight. He knows what he's gonna have to do. They've already planned for it. They already know what he's gonna do. They already know what he's gonna do. They know that Saunders is gonna come out and look to box and move. You see, they know that Saunders can only fight that way. He's not gonna come and look to go toe to toe. He's not gonna walk Canelo down. He's gonna look to move and use the ring, box and move. That's what he's going to do, because that's what Billy Joe Saunders has to do in order to win this fight. Canelo knows that. So they're going to be preparing for a moving target. They're going to be in sparring, preparing hard. Canelo's going to be working on his foot speed, on his movement, because he knows that's what Billy Joe Saunders is going to try to beat him at. He's going to try to be quick, be fast, trying to beat him, you know, by using speed and movement and foot speed. Canelo's going to be cutting off that ring. Canelo's going to be in training, sparring. He's going to be looking to spar guys that are going to be moving around, using movement, using speed, moving around the ring. Canelo's going to look to be cutting off the ring. So they're going to be preparing that in training. And that's what Canelo's brilliant. That's what Canelo's great at. That's why Canelo's so well prepared when he goes to fights, because he lives in the gym. His trainer's always analyzing the guy that he's going to fight, and then they're putting that into practice. And I feel that they're going to be doing that against Saunders as well. They know what attributes Saunders has. They know what they need to do in order to beat Saunders. Canelo knows that he's going to have to be quick on his feet. He knows he's going to have to close off the ring. He knows he's going to have to hit Saunders with a lot of body shots. Saunders said something that I've got a face that a lot of people want to hit, but it's not a very hittable face. Canelo's not going to be looking to hit his face. He's going to be looking to bust his body up. He's going to be looking to hit him with body shots, hard body shots, slow him down. Because one thing everybody knows is a guy that moves, if you hit him with a lot of body shots, he's going to slow down. His movement's going to slow down. You're going to start putting water in the basement, as Teddy Atlas says. You're going to slow those legs down. And as soon as Saunders his legs start slowing, if Canelo starts tagging him to the body, Saunders is going to start becoming a sitting duck for Canelo, and then Canelo's going to start battering him. So Saunders, like I said, is going to have to keep moving all night. And the problem is, right, and this is what I've said prior, I think Saunders' style is going to need a lot of energy. His stamina is going to have to be in tip-top shape. His stamina is going to have to be literally on another level to beat Canelo. Because when Canelo's putting that mental and physical pressure on you, right, it's not just the fact that in a fight you have to be fit anyway, but when you got a guy like Canelo who punches very hard, that's putting a lot of pressure and right on top of you, it's a lot of mental and physical pressure, you tire even quicker. So then you've got a style which is a style that takes a lot and requires a lot of stamina. Then you've got a guy in front of you who's like a bull that's walking you down, that's very strong, that's hitting you with hard shots. That's going to tire you even more. That's going to tire you even more. So, see, the thing is with Canelo's style isn't going to... his stamina is not going to be a problem here, because Billy Joe Saunders hasn't really got anything to stop Canelo with. So Canelo knows that this guy is not really going to hurt me. Billy Joe Saunders' punches aren't going to be, they might sting him, but they're not going to be hurting him like Canelo's punches, because Canelo's a power puncher. So when he hits Saunders, right, they're going to hurt. When they're hurting, that takes a lot out of you if you're getting worn down like that by a stronger guy. Now, Saunders is a big guy. He's a thick set, but he's not a guy that's uses that size, or he's a strong or powerful guy. He's a guy that likes to box and move. Right? I don't know how he's going to take Canelo's power, because like I said, I haven't really seen him hit by a big puncher. Right? I don't know how he's going to be able to handle Canelo's precise, powerful punches, because Canelo hits very hard. To the body, like when you see him hit to the body, it's very, very hard. And then if he catches you with a headshot, you could be in trouble. Saunders could be in trouble. I don't know whether Saunders has got the chin to stand up to someone like Canelo, and that's what's going to be interesting to see. Because if Canelo starts landing big shots, it's going to be interesting to see how Saunders reacts and takes those punches, because he's a very explosive puncher. He's the kind of puncher that can wipe you out. He's very explosive. See, Golovkin's a power puncher also, but Golovkin isn't as explosive as Canelo. Canelo's a fighter that can throw a punch out of nowhere and knock you out, because he's a very, very explosive puncher. Those punches are dangerous. Like Julian Jackson, he was an explosive puncher. He can knock you out cold. Wilder is an explosive puncher. Nazim Hamed, explosive puncher. These are guys that, have explosive power. Canelo's got great uppercuts and great right hands. If they hit you, right, you're going to be in big trouble. And I don't know where at 160, 168, 175 Canelo's got that kind of power. But again, Billy Joe Saunders is not really a 168, he's a 160. And like I said, I don't know what Billy Joe Saunders' chin is like against these top-notch guys. Because let's not forget, he's the only guys he's been in the ring with. Lemieux couldn't hit him. And Andy Lee, he's not anywhere near as big a puncher as Canelo. Even though he could punch, he's not in Canelo's ballpark in terms of punch power. And he's definitely not as skillful as boxer. So Canelo's not just Canelo's not just a big power puncher. He's a very good boxer, and he knows how to land those big shots. He's going to be landing those big shots consistently. And also, Billy Joe Saunders is finally gonna first time come up against somebody that's gonna make him miss. That's the brilliance of Canelo. Canelo's gonna make Saunders miss. And that's what Saunders is gonna find difficult. Normally the guys that he fights, they're static targets and they're easy to hit for him. Canelo's not gonna be easy to hit for Billy Joe. And that's the problem Billy Joe's gonna have, because Billy Joe's gonna be fighting somebody that he's gonna find hard to hit as well. So how's Saunders gonna react if Canelo starts to make Saunders miss? Because Canelo's got elite head movement. So how's he going to react if Canelo starts to make him miss? That's what's going to be interesting for me, because Canelo Alvarez has got great head movement, and he's definitely improved on his footwork. He's definitely improved on his defense. He's very hard to hit now. So how's Saunders going to react? Just say, for example, the fight gets underway and after 2 or 3 rounds, Saunders finds it difficult to land punches on Canelo. Canelo's making him miss and making him pay. Is Saunders going to bite down on his gum shield and say, let's make this a fight? Because I don't think he can do that. You see, this is what I mean when I say Saunders is one-dimensional, in the sense that he can only win this fight in one way, by boxing and moving. If that doesn't work, he's messed up. If he goes in the ring and he's not able to box and move and win the rounds because Canelo's making him miss and making him pay, then what's Saunders going to do? What's his plan B? Is his plan B going to be to walk Canelo down, look to have a scrap with him? Because we all know how that would end. This is why it's going to be a very difficult fight for Saunders, because when you look at it, Canelo can box with him. Canelo can walk him down. Canelo can have a scrap with him. Canelo can do everything. Whereas Saunders has to fight a perfect fight. This is why it's such a difficult fight for Saunders, because for me, he has to fight the perfect fight. Whereas Canelo can fight in many different ways and win. Canelo can box with Saunders and beat him. Canelo could, if that's not working, Canelo can look to walk him down and make it a dogfight. Because like I said, over the last couple of years, Canelo has become a better pressure fighter. So he can definitely become a pressure fighter in the fight in order to get Saunders off his game. Because I do think that if initially Canelo might first 1 or 2 rounds look to box. If that doesn't work after a round, right, or even after a round, he feels that this ain't working, I've got to walk this guy down, he will start upping the pressure and start walking Saunders down. Because he'll know that this guy's not a big puncher, I can walk him down and hurt him. So I think that's what Canelo will do. I think Canelo walked Callum Smith down. That was surprising to me. A big man like Callum Smith, and he walked him down. And to be honest, even when Callum Smith landed a few shots, it never hurt Canelo. You know, and what was interesting in that fight is the way he made Smith miss. It was brilliant. It was beautiful to watch. He made Smith miss so many times in that fight. At times, Smith couldn't hit him. He just couldn't hit him. Because that's Canelo Alvarez. That's what I mean when I say he's got a great head movement. He's got a great defense. It's very hard to hit this guy. And if Saunders, after a couple of rounds starts struggling to land those punches because Canelo's moving and making him miss, Saunders is going to have to go to plan B. And then that's going to be interesting. What's going to be plan B for Saunders? How's he going to react? How's he going to react to, if he can't land punches? What's plan B going to be? That's what's going to be interesting. I want to see what adjustments Saunders can make if he's not having success. Because I know Canelo will adjust. Will Saunders be able to adjust? What can he do if his boxing move style doesn't work? What can he do? See, a lot of people think that Mayweather outboxed him. Mayweather fought a completely different fight. Mayweather didn't run from Canelo. Mayweather stood there with Canelo and literally made him miss in the center of the ring. He boxed with him. He didn't run. He wasn't on the... How many times did you see Mayweather on the ropes in that fight? Mayweather was boxing with him. At times he was the guy that pushing the action, not Canelo. Mayweather didn't run from Canelo that fight. He stood there with him. See, Billy Joe is going to be not fighting like Mayweather. Billy Joe is going to be looking to box and move on the outside. You're going to see him on the ropes a lot more. I'll be very surprised if you don't see Billy Joe on the ropes. If he can avoid, he needs to avoid the ropes. He can't afford to go onto the ropes. He can't afford to have Canelo, on top of him and him on the ropes, because Canelo will be whipping in those body shots. He needs to try be in the center of the ring as much as possible. He needs to be in the center of the ring as much as possible if he wants to stand any chance. Otherwise, if he gets on those ropes, Canelo's going to start whipping in those body shots, and it's going to be a matter of time. He needs to stay in the center of the ring as much as he can. That's his best chance for me. As soon as he starts going backwards and starts moving a lot and giving up ground, I think Canelo will wear him down. I do. Because when you're moving around a lot, you're taking up a lot of energy. And then if you're getting hit with punches on top, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. So for me, Saunders is going to have to... He's going to have to be sharp, but he's going to have to do it without running, so to speak. See, a lot of people think Lara, Mayweather, these guys weren't moving a lot. They were boxing, but they were boxing beautifully. It wasn't a lot of movement. It wasn't a lot of energy being consumed. Saunders' style, the reason why Saunders gets tired is, and a lot of people say he's got poor stamina. Yes, he wasn't living the life and the way he lives. That's fair enough. That's all true. But Saunders' style is very energy consuming. I've said this before. He moves around a lot. He's boxing, moving around. And when you've got an intelligent beast or like Canelo in there, because Canelo's an intelligent bull, like I've said before. He's very intelligent, and he's walking. When he's walking you down, he's a very intelligent boxer, not just a big puncher, wild puncher. He's very intelligent. He knows what to do. He sets up traps. I saw a video on YouTube where there was a guy breaking down how Canelo sets up traps. Everything that Canelo does is well calculated. It's not just going in the ring. He's very, very well calculated. He's setting you up. He's setting traps. He's setting you for certain punches. And I feel that Canelo is going to be hitting Saunders with a lot of body shots. He's going to be looking to slow that movement down. He's going to be slamming that body, because he knows that by hitting that body, Saunders is going to slow down. And that's what Canelo is going to do. But I am really excited for this fight. I'm pretty sure I know Canelo said he'll knock Saunders out in 3 rounds, but I think his trainer knows that this isn't going to be an easy fight. because Saunders is going to be tricky. It's just whether Saunders is going to be able to do what he does for 12 rounds. Is he going to be able to keep up that pace? Is he going to be able to box and move for 12 rounds? Is he going to be able to make it tough for Canelo for, 12 rounds? That's the thing. I don't see, with Callum Smith, I could see the fight going 12 rounds. In this fight, I don't really see it going 12 rounds for Billy Joe. Because I don't think Billy Joe is going to be strong enough to be able to absorb the punches of Canelo over a period of time. I think Canelo will eventually wear him down. And that's the problem I think Saunders is going to have, is that I don't think he's going to be strong enough to keep Canelo off of him. And I think eventually Canelo's going to wear him down. And I think Saunders' style is going to be... I think his style is also going to be a problem, where he's going to be looking to box and move and use a lot of movement. But I think that's going to affect his stamina. And I think his stamina might give way, towards the mid to late rounds. I think Canelo will start putting more pressure on him as he sees he's tiring. And I think eventually Canelo will force a stoppage near the end. But I do expect this to go more than a couple of rounds, for sure. But it's boxing, you never know if, Canelo lands something, if Saunders lands something. But I don't think Saunders has got that kind of power. But I think Canelo has definitely got some serious power. If he lands something on Saunders, Saunders could be hurt. But listen, hopefully Saunders can put up a great fight. Hopefully Saunders can shock a lot of people. Even if he loses, maybe shock a lot of people with his performance. Can he do it? It's unlikely. But again, never say never in boxing. We've seen bigger upsets. We've seen upsets before. So Saunders is, although he's the underdog, he's the live underdog. He can fight. He's been doing this for a very long time. He's a world champion, legitimate world champion. Let's see if he can pull off the shock upset. He'd surprise a lot of people, because a lot of people are giving him literally no chance. But you have to give a guy a chance, even if it's a slim one. You have to say he's got a chance. But let's see if he can prove how good he is. Leave your thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. What do you make of Eddie Reynoso saying that Saunders will be a tough fight? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. And guys, remember to please like, share, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.